Hi, Karu. Watched your video last night, and I thought that it would be interesting to take a little video this afternoon, this evening. It's around 6 o'clock, I guess, probably, to talk about the weather and various other things. So Sarah and I went for a walk this afternoon on June 8th, and we went out and it was sunny, and even though it had rained most of the day, we figured it was done raining for the rest of the day, but obviously we were wrong. So we stopped and ate dinner, and it poured on us on our way back. So that's pretty much, our spring has been this way. It's, I don't know, it's probably 60 degrees out here. It got to 80 on Saturday, but it was breezy and still felt pretty cool for the most part. I think I told you at Yakutak it rained all day too. I mean, it has been unbelievable. So to give you an idea of how much rain we've had, and I've refrained from taking more video of the Umatilla River, but the Umatilla River, ooh, thunder. Cool, eh? The Umatilla River median flow for this time of year is between 60 and 100 cubic feet per second. That's median flow over the last 100 years. That's a long time gauge. And right now it's between, well, over the last week and a half, it's been between 3,000 and 6,000 cubic feet per second. So obviously we have a little more moisture than we're used to having. I mean, last weekend, or actually last week, I went out to work on Monday, and it had rained here Monday or Sunday evening, and we had fresh snow on the mountains on whatever, June 3rd or whatever. So yeah, it's the weather has been rather unusual, which has been fun. Anyway, that's the weather. I did want to tell you that when I watched your video last night, Sarah came and looked over my shoulder and said, "Why are you looking at that woman?" And then she said, "Oh, don't tell Karu that I thought he was a woman." And I said, "Well, a woman without a shirt on." And then she was like, "Oh, I didn't notice that," which was probably a good thing, because then I would have been in big trouble. But then I showed the video of the section about you talking about Eleanor to Bryn and Eleanor, and Eleanor and Bryn said, "Why doesn't Uncle Karu have a shirt on?" And I was like, it's hot there. And it's really hard for us at this point to imagine 100 degrees, to be honest with you. Just, yeah, it's kind of beyond the pale. So anyway, oh, the one thing I did want to tell you, you know, you mentioned Eleanor in the video, and it's crazy, but we just happen to have some video footage that was shot of Eleanor coming out.
That was dramatic.
I'm stuck in the car.
Come out, wherever you are.
Oh no, I'm stuck.
You are out! Hooray!
Hi, now you know that coming out means tripping on a lot of things and roaring. I hope you enjoyed this educational experience.
Yeah, so that was Eleanor coming out. So now, hopefully, you have a better understanding in Minnesota of what we meant when we said Eleanor was coming out. Anything else? Oh, last night I watched the U.S. play Canada in the first game of the Gold Cup, and we won 2-0. And it was actually a well-played game by the U.S. It's funny how Americans always get down, once again, reading my soccer bulletin boards where crazy people are. Actually, there were a lot of really interesting comments, and one of the reasons why I continue to read those boards is because there's a few posters who I really, really like, and I learn a ton of stuff, actually. It's difficult to get the news about soccer and what's going on, and that site is really good for giving me insight into the news. And then there's a bunch of people who actually know quite a bit about soccer and that I learn from. So, yeah, and there are crazy people, and every once in a while, if I'm in the wrong mindset and I get on there, that's bad. But for the most part, I do okay. And I don't actually spend, I go through spurts. There are, I'll go a week without looking at it, and then I'll look at it after the Galaxy play. And on the Galaxy boards, actually, most of the fans are pretty normal and sane. There's a few David Beckham fans that are complete idiots and don't see a reason why anyone should be upset that David Beckham is a part-time player for the Galaxy, even though they're paying him $5 million a year. By part-time player, I mean he skips matches to go to the royal wedding or to the Gary Neville testimonial match. Anyway, so I read those mostly, and then I only read the U.S. men's national team site during the men's national team because there's no one else really to talk to, and I guess I could try to foster relationships with some of those people offline so I could talk to them about it, but it seems to defeat the purpose if you've met them on a blog or a bulletin board. So anyway, the U.S. won 2-0. Landon Donovan had an assist. Josie Altidore had a goal and an assist. And Clint Dempsey had a goal. And I thought the team played pretty well. Canada's not a good team, so that doesn't mean that much. But still, it was nice to see after the Spain match. News came out in the paper today that the City Council will not be renewing the city manager's contract. And which means that this year is the last year of his contract. So he will be, they gave him a 2% raise, and then, wrath of God. I don't know if you can hear the thunder. Anyway, they gave him a slight raise and then said they weren't going to renew his contract. So, that's just interesting news. I'll pass on. I will talk to you sometime in the future. If I don't talk to you, you can just assume that I'm still dead here in rainy and cool Pendleton, Oregon.